21세기 이후 중국에 거주하는 키르기스족은 그곳을 고향으로 여겨왔습니다. 독특한 부족 정체성을 유지하며 중국 북서부 신장시에 거주하는데 그곳의 소수 부족들은 공산당에 의해 사라졌습니다. 키르기스의 유명한 서사시 마나스는 그들의 역사, 관습, 철학과 독립을 위한 투쟁을 잘 묘사하고 있습니다. 서사시를 낭송하며 역사와 전통을 잘 아는 일부 키르기스족은 재교육 수용소에서 힘든 나날을 보내고 있습니다. 그들에게 다가가는데 가장 큰 장애물은 복음을 반대하는 중국 정부입니다. 또 다른 장벽은 오래전부터 이슬람의 충성심을 가져온 것과 흑마술을 믿는다는 것입니다. 키르기스족은 기적과 경이로움을 신뢰하기 때문에 신자들이 하나님의 권능과 치유의 역사를 통해 다가가는 것이 효과적일 것입니다. 오늘날 극소수의 신자가 있지만 중국의 가혹한 억류로 얼마나 많은 사람이 구금되어 있는지 알 수 없습니다. 키르기스 신자들이 성령의 능력으로 더욱 강해지고 영적인 억압을 잘 견뎌내도록 기도합시다.
위티엔 위구르족은 여타 위구르와 문화적으로 구별되어 있는 것으로 유명합니다. 특정 의복과 독특한 헤어스타일이 이들을 구분짓는 요소입니다. 중국의 투르크어를 구사하는 위티엔 위구르족은 수니파 무슬림입니다. 위구르의 마지막 크리스천 공동체가 1390년경 이슬람으로 강제 개종을 당했고 오늘날 위구르족은 중국 정부로부터 박해를 당하고 있습니다. 현재 위구르족 내에 신자로 알려진 사람은 없습니다. 이들은 또한 강제 개종의 역사를 갖고 있기 때문에 개종에 대한 경계심을 갖고 있습니다. 위구르족에게 주님이 주시는 소망과 구원의 문이 열리기를 기도합시다. 중국 정부의 불의로부터 위구르족이 보호받기를 기도합시다.
When they came out into the land, or out into the desert and died, and a new generation was then given the land, do you think they still thought about the Great Commission? There are some evidences here and there as you go into Joshua and Judges and Ruth and 1st and 2nd Samuel and 1st and 2nd Kings. There are a few glimmers of this. But the story is a story of fear rather than faith, of grasping, of survival, of security, a word we hear a lot these days in the era of declining energy resources, the security of our country. We are the only country that would be most damaged by the loss of oil resources, because we're the country that's made the most use of them. And those countries like China that have never gotten hooked on oil can get along perfectly nicely if they shut down the supplies from the Middle East. We're the umbilical nation. Security, fear, survival. These things can easily course through our minds and obliterate the purposes that God would give to us. And so that's what happened. And as a result, again, they were taken into captivity, this time 70 years. Now, 70 years is plenty long enough for everybody to die off in that generation that was sent into slavery. Just like the 40 years here in the wilderness. I'll put it right here. And so when they came back again, you have another very key verse here. I should go back to 14 for a second. When God said, you will not be the ones to go into this land, he nevertheless did not say, well, I'm giving up my plans. In Numbers 14, it's very interesting. He said, my glory shall fill the earth, but you are not to be the ones to be involved in that. And every one of us here today are totally incapable of destroying God's plans. All we can destroy is His plans for us. He will accomplish His purpose. But He may someday say to you, caught up in who knows what could bog you down, tear you down. You know, you can blacken your lungs with cigarette tar. You can become an alcoholic. You can wreck your life in 100 different ways. And at that moment of hopelessness, the words may come back to you. My glory shall fill the earth, but you will not be the one to be involved in that glorious process. So you see, God does not need us. It's hard to believe. How could He get along without us? How could He get along without America? Is He going to flush America down the drain because we do not respond to the vision and the purpose He has for us? Wait and see. There are a lot of ways it could happen. You don't have to reflect very far at all if you want to be worried about how God could eliminate this country, or better still, how God could allow this country to be eliminated. And I don't want to go into the gory details, but the fact is that God restated His purpose here. He restated it in Exodus 19 when He said, you are, after all, a priestly nation. You are chosen to be a nation, a specially called nation. And the same thing here, when they were restored their land. Now, do you think that they got the point again? Here, the verse is Isaiah 49:6. The clearest example of the Great Commission in the whole Bible, in my opinion, where there is a balancing against the national purpose of the people versus God's purpose for those people. They might have said, well, boy, you know, you yourselves here, some of you may say, well, you know, I really can't go any place or do anything until I get my little Omni or my, diesel rabbit. We got to get ourselves fixed up. We got to get, we got to get this, get that, get. And when we get all we need, we can't remember what we were supposed to be getting. And so we get spread out. Now, in this verse it says, look, you want to get your land back. What else? You got to have a pad. You got to have a place to start. You got to have a base. The very minimum essential for the mission to the world would have been to have their own home base. But God said, look, it is a secondary matter. This is what the verse says in kind of a free translation. It's a secondary matter that you should have your own pad, your own mission base. Remember, I want you to be a light to the nations. That's where they were. They were clear out in Babylon, among the nations, so that my salvation can go to the ends of the earth. Well, they weren't interested in going to the ends of the earth. They were interested in going back home again. And again, you see that tension between security, and the purposes of God, which seem to be the very opposite, which seem to give the impression that God is going to destroy us. Now that's curious, isn't it? But it has to do with the excitement of the Christian life. Every day that we walk with the Lord, humanly speaking, we may wonder, does he know what he's doing? How could this be? How can I risk this or risk that? But anyway, Isaiah 49:6, like Isaiah 19, Numbers 14, Genesis 12, simply reminds the nation of the basic purpose to which God called them, and of course, which they didn't really respond to. Now,
다시 아버지를 만나고 주님 내 마음에 연약한 눈물의 끝에서 또 나를 안겨주시네. 작다 생각했던 그의 부르심 다시 나를 회복해 하시네. 다시 일어나 주를 예배하니 내 모든 기쁨이 되리. 그의 기쁨 되어 삶의 모든 순간을 주께 다 내어드리리.
우리 함께 고백합시다. 나는 내 마음에
복음이 흥했던 곳에서 다시 아버지를 만나고 주님 내 마음에 연약한 눈물의 끝에서 또 나를 안겨주시네.
다시 한번 고백하겠습니다. 나는
내 마음에 복음이 흥했던 곳에서 다시 아버지를 만나고 주님 내 마음에 연약한 눈물의 끝에서 또 나를 안겨주시네. 생각했던 그의 부르심